Hello. Welcome to our show for Black History Month. Actually, our PSA for Black History Month 2023. My name is Joan Cromwell, President of Chelsea Black Community, and we are happy to be here in Chelsea Community Television this afternoon with you.
My name is Maureen Lee, and I am the treasurer of the Chelsea Black Community. And it's a real pleasure to be here this afternoon, giving you all an update on what our activities are going to be for the month of February.
Mm-hmm. Hi, my name is Celeste Williams. I'm an active member of the CBC. Like Maureen and Joan said, we're here today to send out our PSA about the events that's coming forward for Black History Month. And hope that the community will listen up to what we have to say right now, because all these events are going to be great.
Right.
So, Joan?
So I just want to start with Happy Black History Month. And CBC is so happy to be a part of this community. And we're coming out to, showcase Black History Month for what it is in our community. This year, the theme is Black resistance and oppression, and just looking at historical perspective on what that means in terms of where we are today and the work that has been done and the work that continues to do to get done with all of us as a community. So sit back, enjoy the show. We have lots of good stuff coming at you, and just hope that you stay tuned throughout the month and just listen up here and now to what we have to say for this month. Thank you.
Okay, so let's get into it. As you can see, our calendar for February is up on the monitor here. And I just wanted to let you know that Wednesday, February 7th, there will be a Black History Art and History exhibits. It will be at Chelsea Hall Art Gallery reception at on February 7th, from 4 to 6 p.m. And we will also have art on display at Gallery 456, which is on Broadway in Chelsea. If you don't know where it is, it's located next to McDonald's. And we also will have some art displayed at the Chelsea Public Library.
Yes, and that's what the amazing piece is, where we're trying to meet all ends of the community and be in several places, not just one. So that's why throughout the month is the history and art displays and exhibits. And it's beautiful artwork donated for display by community artists, Celeste being one of them. Many of her absolutely beautiful pieces are on display, as well as many other artists in our community that, it shows the work at its best. So absolutely stop by one of the three venues that Celeste mentioned throughout the month and early into March, and just enjoy the history and the artwork. We're proud. We're absolutely proud. And we thank, our city partners that have allowed us to display the artwork at 456 Gallery, at the Chelsea Public Library, as well as the City Hall Art Gallery. So thank you. Then on Thursday, February 9th, we have Sweet Talk, and it's by BeHeard.world, and that's going to be at Chelsea High School at 7 p.m. It's a free event open to the public, and it is going to basically talk about and reflect on, through art and music and spoken word, forging the critical conversations about racial justice through the arts. It's a moving confluence of music, spoken word, and dance. And this dance group has traveled around the world, and actually around the country more so, but also in different countries, in terms of speaking about racial concerns and racism on many levels and scopes. So it's a diverse cast, and they're actually based in Cambridge. It's the Anamaya Dance Complex. So absolutely, it's going to be a beautiful
They were here for
performance.
Chelsea Day, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that performance was definitely beautiful.
Yep.
I can't wait.
It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, because I didn't get to see the whole thing. So I'm definitely,
And that's
You know,
key because
yeah.
that day we got a snap of
Right.
the performance, but to see it in full, and a full showcase of the performance is just going to be definitely a night to remember. So again, that's Thursday, February 9th at Chelsea High School. Please come out and enjoy the show. We then have Wednesday, February 22nd, which is Hear Her Sing for Freedom. And that is a virtual performance. So we're pretty fortunate to be in person this year. The last 2 years we've been virtual on Zoom, and it was okay because, you know, you're in the comforts of your home, but, you know, we're happy to be fellowshipping with our community in person this year. But we do have one virtual event, which makes it very easy to attend, right? And that's on Wednesday, February 22nd. Hear Her Sing for Freedom. And that's the experience and the brilliance of Coretta Scott King through this new work presenting a freedom concert and exploration of her legacy. And I was fortunate enough to attend this performance virtual on MLK Day in the evening, and it was the perfect place to be. And this woman who is Coretta Scott King in this performance is phenomenal. You will not be disappointed. It shows her life, her legacy, her history as a woman, as a mother, as a scholar, and as a wife. So it's very touching to be a part of this, to witness this piece. And the artist and the director is out of the Multicultural Center in Cambridge, Naji, and just a phenomenal work as well. So please join us virtually on February 22nd.
yeah, that sounds right on line
Yeah.
of what women have done in the resistance, in the civil rights movement. They're not talked about enough.
Exactly.
But to follow up with that, the Senior Center is presenting
Yes.
a new song.
Yes.
Una Canta Nueva. It's from 12 to 2 o'clock. Yes, it's open to the public, but it's mostly concentrated on coming in and interacting with our seniors that have been learning about the history of Black people in this country for about 5 or 6 years now. It's been, different subjects have been presented to them. Through COVID, like Joan said, we couldn't come together. So this is actually our first event back from, you know, not having any
person.
interaction with each other for Black History Month.
Sure.
And the reflection is on the life of Billie Holiday and her resistance through song
Yes.
and poetry, of Nina Simone, her resistance in the movement. And all of this is going to be relative to the civil rights movement and the obstacles faced in our community still today. Chelsea Senior Center is at 10 Riley Way, Chelsea, Massachusetts. If you come out and enjoy the nostalgia and mostly taking the information of how the civil rights movement was funded through the musicians and poets.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't see them, if you listen to the music of that time, all the way up into the 70s
Sure.
with Marvin Gaye and
Yeah.
and lots of other singers who couldn't speak out. James Brown, I'm Black and I'm Proud. All this music spoke to us in resistance. It spoke to us in code, and Black people's been doing that for years. We've spoken to each other in code. All through the underground movements, this is what we've done. So, like Joan said, being that the theme was and still is, resistance. Even though it changes every year, we're still resisting injustice, right?
Yes.
So thank you if you came out and enjoyed with the seniors. And the Chelsea Senior Center is sponsoring this along with the CBC.
Yes.
I want to say that.
And I do love that it's inclusive in terms of the community we live in
Yes.
and how they can reflect on what resistance and oppression means, coming from different countries around the world where they're
Exactly.
coming to, and just having a collaborative celebration
Yes.
of what that looks like here in Chelsea. So
Yeah.
yeah, and it is a celebration because when we do come together to reflect, we also do that in a celebratory mood
Yes.
with dance and with conversation and with food.
Moving forward.
And this is who we are. Yeah.
Keep moving
as
forward.
people.
Yes.
Yes.
What I really like about for Thursday is the reflection on the Billie Holiday resistance through song, Strange Fruit. I mean, they really
Yes.
put this woman through pure hell. And she
Yeah.
still stood up on that stage and sang that song because she
Yes.
actually saw it. She fought for it till the day she died.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was just
Even when
amazing.
she was told not to do
She
it.
was told, and the feds were sitting there, and they told her, "Do not sing that song." And she looked at them, and she told the audience, "I was told not to sing this song, but I'm going to sing it anyway."
Yes.
And she sang it. And that was, to me, a strong woman
Yes.
of what she went through.
Yeah.
If you read up on her life story, or watch not the one with Diana Ross, you watch the second movie with Billie Holiday
Yeah.
versus. The feds
Right.
and all that. So that will tell it all what she went through.
She actually went through the repercussions of what lynching looked like
Exactly.
after hanging on the tree.
Right. While
She
people
was
sat
lynched
and
in another way.
Exactly.
Drugs was flooded into
Right,
her.
exactly.
Which we still face in our community today, right?
Yes.
Yes.
They're going to say you're crazy because you were on drugs, or even if you had to struggle with it, but how did she get that?
Right, exactly.
How did she get to that point
And
to
they
be
used
handcuffed
that.
to her bed?
They used that to put her in prison,
Yeah.
and she still
She was
came out and
lynched.
fought it. And then they used it on her deathbed. They still wanted her to say on her dying bed about that song, and she laughed in their faces and said
Yeah.
no, and she passed away. So,
that's
I
the
mean, that was
education
great.
that-
That's real.
That's
education.
awesome.
Yeah.
I get the chills even when I think about it, or I think, and she's my favorite. Billie Holiday, I love her music. But going on Monday, February 27th,
Yes.
is Black History Month Community Celebration. 5 to 8, free, public, dynamite keynote speaker,
Yeah.
Dr. Erin Jennings,
Who's amazing.
MSW, Equity, Diversity, and Excellent Officer. Chelsea Trailblazers honored. Free dinner, performances, raffles, vendors, activities, and that is going to be taking place at William Middle School, 180 Walnut Street, Chelsea, Mass. And it would be awesome for everybody to join us there because that's my favorite day. Because everybody's there.
Yeah.
We have vendors. It's busy. We have food. We have everything. So please make it. Put it on your calendars. Make that date. Actually, make all these dates because this is Black History Month,
Yeah.
and we'd love to see all of you at all of these events.
Yeah.
That's good, and it is going to be amazing. And this month is full of activities that is just celebrating
Right.
Yeah.
Black history and great women and
No
performances.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
COVID,
yes.
no masks.
Seeing what resistance can look like
Through-
without violence.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
We're
I
going to
love
see
that.
what resistance can look like through music and
Yes.
honoring people
Yes.
who are still out there every
Yes.
day doing the work because we're still in the civil rights movement.
Yes.
Yes.
You know.
And
so-
I love that.
Yeah.
And in the past
yeah.
years, we, were on Zoom and was having, hard conversations,
Right.
and we still intend to do so. But I feel like Black History is beyond Black History Month,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we want to have those conversations and remain engaged in the community with those conversations. So not all the time do you have to look at the hard and fast and the tough times. in terms of Black history, but do it in a celebratory way through music. And then there's March, April, May,
Yes,
June, July,
right.
August, September, October, November, December. That's a whole more 10 months that we
we
have
have
to have
Juneteenth.
great conversations. Absolutely.
course.
We have our
So definitely
celebration
stay
Even
tuned
on
for that.
420, right?
Right.
Even on 420,
Yep.
the conversation for us would be like Martin Luther King's passing.
Yes.
Right.
And what that meant to us.
Yes.
Right? And his friend Maya Angelou, who funded the civil rights movement and was Martin's biggest backer, it was her birthday. Right? So, Joni, you're going to know what that feels like having
Yeah.
one coming up.
And that's
And
why
then-
it's
yes,
most important to
you
visit
know.
the art and history
Yeah.
exhibits, because
Exactly.
all of these folks we're talking about are all included. So
Yeah.
go visit each site, because there's different information. The HBCUs, the Historical Black
Right.
Colleges and Universities, that's on display. Just the Birmingham bus boycott,
Right.
just tons and tons of information
Right.
that we talk about every day, but to see it and to be able to read it and reflect on it is amazing. So we could sit here
Yeah,
all day with so
that.
much
Yeah,
information.
there's so much.
But getting back to what Miss Maureen talked about in terms of February 27th, that Monday evening is always phenomenal.
Yes.
It's the
You know
best.
what? The community comes out and we celebrate together, and we have delicious food,
Yes.
delicious entertainment, music,
Yeah.
just incredible words of wisdom from our great keynote speaker, Dr.
Yes.
Jennings,
Yes. It's
who
gonna
is
be
making
phenomenal.
moves, like powerful moves in our school district.
Yes.
And just, you know what, we have some great guests coming through, so absolutely be a part of that. And what's key to that evening? Who do we celebrate?
Trailblazers.
Chelsea Trailblazers.
Trailblazers.
Black
Drum
History
roll.
Month
Come on.
2023.
All right.
Yes.
Let's do
Chelsea
it.
Trailblazers.
That's right.
So brace yourself, sit down,
Yeah.
take it in, and you know, when you see them, congratulate
Yeah.
them,
Yes.
and give them a hand, because there's many great folks in our community, and Chelsea Black community takes the time to really think about honoring who they honor each and every year. And we know there's so many, so we, get a nice group of individuals together that have, in our eyes, are doing remarkable work in the community and continue to do so. And that's key. So as a trailblazer, you're paving that path, but you continue on that journey and bringing folks along with you in the process.
yes.
So definitely
Yeah.
our first, and no importance by order, but Miss Roseanne Bongiovanni, who is the executive director of Green
Yes,
Roots.
Roseanne.
And you know what,
Definitely.
we want to honor and recognize Roseanne, because she does the work.
Yes.
And not only is she executive director of Green Roots, that is, an environmental force in terms of advocating for a healthy Chelsea, and but also she remembers the spirit of Green Roots remembers others in their community in terms of collaboration and partnership, and always willing to look at these smaller organizations to say, what do you need? Can we give a hand? Let's do things together, which is very, very important. And I think we learned that through COVID,
Yeah.
to say, you know what, as a community, we need to build together. And I think Roseanne is a leader of those words, and she holds true to them. And more so, the diversity in Green Roots is remarkable. And it's totally reflective of our community. So we appreciate the work Roseanne leads her team in doing, and we appreciate Roseanne as an individual, a lifelong
Yeah,
resident of
yeah.
Chelsea, and
She's
Chelsea
always
High School, born and
welcoming-
raised. So
welcoming.
definitely,
Yeah.
we see you, we hear you,
Yeah.
we appreciate you.
We welcome you, Roseanne.
Yes,
We welcome
Definitely.
yes.
you. Yes.
The second individual that we are honoring is Mr. Ned Keefe, who is a deputy city manager, currently the interim city manager. And Ned is amazing, right? So when you think about an unsung hero
Right.
and the wind beneath wings,
Yes.
you think of Ned,
Yes,
right? Because
definitely.
he is doing a lot of work behind the scenes, and we had a great city manager, Mr. Tom Ambrosino, who has gone on to, to continue on his journey, and Ned is here, and just knowing how much of an impact he has made on the community through decision making, through sitting in and listening, and being able to have a different lens in terms of what will work and where to basically
Yeah.
give support where is needed. And CBC definitely several, I think 2 Black History Months ago at the main event, we talked about having a seat at the table in the community and, being part of like a conversation with stakeholders. And you know what, Mr. Keefe remembers those conversations and is intentional in basically making sure everyone in the city
Right.
is heard. So
Right.
definitely our hat goes off and we take a bow to
Yes, definitely.
Mr. Keefe, and
Yes.
definitely he will be celebrated
Yeah.
on that
Looking
day as
forward
well.
to that.
Yeah, and please chime in with all your beautiful accolades for all these individuals as well.
Well, I've been admiring this woman for years. She is an unsung hero as well.
Yes.
In the community, I've watched her help addicts. I've watched her help people that are well.
Say her name.
I watched her do many things, and her name is Miss Grace McKinnon.
Yeah.
You probably saw her do an interview with me. I was told it was the best one, so
Yes.
I'm looking forward to her receiving her award. We'll learn more about her as we go forward on the 27th.
Yep.
She's an amazing woman. Please come out and celebrate her.
And I just want to add to Miss Grace, the name suits her.
Yeah.
It absolutely does.
Yeah,
And
she is.
Yeah, she's
The lady in
brilliant.
Grace.
She's eloquent. She's resilient. My goodness, she's warm-hearted, and her neighborly approach to community involvement has proven to be exceptional.
Yeah.
She's an educator. She's an advisor. She supports. She's everything in one, and she basically has come from a lot and a vast experience of grant writing and community organizational building, and she just has so much in that ahead of her.
She's a
that
sweet person.
She portrays it
She is.
beautifully, and always,
Yeah.
always giving back to the
Yep,
community.
she does.
and to the seniors.
That's the truth,
Major.
because if you watch her interview with me on Inspiring Generations, for Channel 3, the wisdom,
Yes,
right?
yes,
But the commitment to this
Yes.
community. She was an Army brat, Maureen.
I was
Yeah.
military.
You know, military.
Thank you
know,
for serving.
You'll learn more about it if you watch Inspiring Generations. But even if you don't watch the show, come out on the 27th and watch her be on it.
Yes.
You'll get a chance
Yeah,
to
you'll
meet her.
get a chance to meet her, yeah.
And congratulate her.
Exactly.
absolutely.
I have the next 2 that I'd like to talk about,
All
which
right.
they inspire me. I love them. Mr. Cesar Castro,
Yes.
youth empowerment leader through sports and education.
Okay, easy.
As you know, we always have Let It Fly every August.
Yep.
And him and my nephew, Kyle Ubamba, they go in, and both of them. But Cesar, he's awesome. I mean,
Yes.
I watch him with these youths, and him and my nephew, they go in with that Let It Fly, and it's just amazing. And I love working it. It's exciting. I mean, last Let It Fly, we had lines out to the door, and we have
It's
our
great.
Miss
great.
what is it? Sweet sugar?
Brown sugar.
Brown sugar
sugar,
cooking,
yeah.
and
Brown
there
sugar.
wasn't enough food. I mean, it was just amazing how people were coming in from different cities to see this, and it's amazing to see these basketball players,
Beautiful.
girls, females and males, playing against each other, and how they. It's just amazing. That's another event. We'll talk
Yeah.
about it another time. But Caesar is a part of that.
commitment.
He
The commitment.
he's an empowerment to all of that. He's really great.
Yeah. And you know what? 7 years ago, Let It Fly started, right?
Yes.
But he's been doing it prior to that, right?
know.
He's now just got the position as the lead basketball coach at Chelsea High School.
Oh, my God,
And the
that's
commitment isn't just to basketball, but it's empowering Black and brown students
Exactly.
to excel,
Yeah.
you know, beyond
They
their
need a
limit.
mentor. They need someone
he
like
is
him.
that.
And he is the
Yes.
perfect one for that position.
And it's beautiful because he was born and raised and came up in the Chelsea Public Schools
Yes.
and a product of
so
Chelsea
he
Youth
knows,
basketball.
right.
How great is that?
Perfect.
I mean, it's awesome.
How-
You were the
yeah.
nurse at the school when he was going there.
Never let him go home either.
Then we have another one. Now we have another one, which is a young lady, Miss Stacy Smith.
Yes.
She promotes healthy living conditions for men in our community and also advocates for social and racial equity, inclusion, and justice in our community with our youth. She always steps up to the plate, committed, engaged to help toward change that will serve and benefit underserved groups.
Yeah.
Now, Stacy is out there, and she always talks about, and she reads, and she looks up things, and she brings
She
things to
studies.
our attention that I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
And this young lady, she came up in Chelsea too.
Yes.
So I'm just, these two I'm amazed, all of them I'm amazed
It's
with.
amazing.
Me too.
But these two,
Yeah.
I know since they were little, and I watched how they've grown and how she speaks so well when she's
And,
talking.
and she doesn't know it yet, but she's a historian in the making.
She is.
Exactly.
She really is.
She really is, and where it comes
That's her
from-
forte.
That's her
Yes,
forte.
definitely. Because when she comes
is.
up with all of this, I'm like, where did she get that
She
from? I
teaches
didn't
us
know
at
that.
We're
every
we're
meeting.
kindred
She comes
spirits.
We'll hear
I
something
love her.
tonight at our meeting.
Yeah,
Trust and
I love
believe.
her.
Yeah.
And she's given history
Yeah.
of Chelsea way back
Well, she's
to
going
the Chelsea
beyond.
Fire.
Yes.
She's going beyond the
Yes.
narrative. Sometimes you
Yes.
want to settle
I
with a
love that.
narrative, and you know it just don't feel right, and it's the history of your people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? You want to take ownership of that. So the only way you can do that, folks out there, is you have to go and research a
Right.
little further.
You have to
Yep.
be out there
You
with.
know, it's yeah.
see.
But you just if it doesn't feel right,
Yeah.
okay?
Right.
You go and you study it a little more. There's more fact finding than you know about certain subjects that are presented to you.
Yeah.
So therefore, be like Miss Stacy, go and research more.
Yeah.
Because then when the narrative does change, you'll have the facts.
Yes.
And then nobody can take that away from you.
No,
okay?
they can't.
She
She's really
definitely,
good.
what
Yeah,
is that,
she's-
believe
yeah.
but verify? That's
Right.
totally,
And
Right.
she, like I said, she
she's
always
great.
comes up with these. You know, I was researching today. And
Yeah.
I was like, where did she get that from? I never. Oh my
It's
God.
Plus, she
true.
gives a
And I'm
lot
like,
of
wow,
herself.
that's awesome.
she gives a lot of herself.
She gives her
She
time.
does.
Yes.
She does.
She is always committed.
She shows up.
And she'll be there. She shows up.
Right.
She's always there. When you need her, she's there.
And
So,
right, and she especially for men,
Yeah.
yeah.
because
She knows there's a
lots of
sickness
times,
in-
right, we're
with
thinking
men,
of
yeah.
Yeah.
you know domestic violence
Right,
and you know the impact of social issues on women,
Yep.
and often men, especially men of color, are overlooked.
Yeah.
And Stacy brings that to the table over and over again in terms of
Constantly, yes.
support and social support for housing and for benefits, for just so we remember that you know the struggles that
Yeah.
men are faced with in
Yeah,
this
she
community
deserves
as
this
well,
award.
with drug addiction and substance
Yeah.
abuse. But Stacy's amazing and
Yeah.
definitely an unsung hero and definitely a Chelsea trailblazer.
Yeah, I
She
love
is.
this part
Yeah.
too. Like Maureen said, I
Yes.
love this part because the community will get to see
everything.
that,
and I
that
love
there's
it.
people that are not like rah 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 rah.
Sure.
Look at me,
Sure.
but they're out there
I love
every
that.
day.
They're quiet. They don't,
Yeah.
like she said, they're not out there
Yeah.
boasting about, oh, this
Right.
is what I did, this is what, they
Right.
just do it, you
Yeah.
know, and they don't ask for anything in return. They
Yeah.
just go out and do it. And
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. And she's such a young lady, and I think she's doing a great job.
And she's
Absolutely.
and she's approachable.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, yes. You can
So the
definitely go up and
next-
talk to her, and respectable.
Right.
Yeah.
So our next, because we're running out of time.
Right.
here, they're
Yes,
giving
yes.
us
That's okay. We don't want to give
Mr.
y'all too
Yahya
much
Noor,
information,
right?
okay?
Right, Mr. Yahya Noor, who is
Oh,
amazing.
oh,
yes,
oh.
yes, yes. He's not only the business
Amazing.
owner of Tawakal Cafe in East Boston, but he serves on community boards and has been feeding our community with a taste of Africa for quite a while now.
Yes.
Yes.
He came to Chelsea as an immigrant and brought with him a sense of investing in community that comes from his own upbringing. He has a gift to provide service to our community in a soul-fulfilling manner, which is what we need to, when we, get caught up in the rush and the bustle of, being what we do and where we need to be. Yahya just feeds the soul. And I don't only say that through the dishes that are prepared that are absolutely delicious, but also what he brings with that in conversations and just reflecting on what community means and what community building means as well. So, we honor Yahya. He's
Yes.
in our community. He's raising his children here. And if you have a conversation with him, you know that you had a great conversation that day because he does so much in serving on boards and bringing, great advice. And,
Yes.
and his mind is always working on
Very
how
inspiring.
to
Yes.
do
He's
better
very
and be
inspiring.
better
Very
and to
good.
bring better.
Yes, and he makes the best hummus. Okay.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Yahya.
Yes.
And the last one we have is Miss Deborah Washington. Over
Yes.
the years has been involved with community many levels, from the school committee to the council to the AME church, representing Faith in Blue, but also always signing and showing up to help execute
Execute events. yeah.
events,
Absolutely.
evaluate what can be better. And just being present, make sure all voices are heard and all faces are seen.
Yes.
So that's it for our
And that's what I love about
Trailblazers.
Deb, because she makes sure
Yeah.
all voices are heard and all people are seen. And she might come and not have much to say,
Right.
but she's present and she makes sure all voices
Yes.
are heard and all faces are seen. And Deborah's been lifelong resident of the
Yeah,
community
she's
as well.
groundbreaking.
Was
Yeah.
on this, yes,
Groundbreaking.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
she is.
on the school
Like,
committee, the
Lord.
council. She's an evangelist.
Yeah.
She's uplifted herself in the
Yeah.
church,
Yes.
and People's AME Church, and is now an evangelist and is just dedicated and devoted in anything she participates in, and she always responds to the cause because she believes
In the cause,
the
yeah.
cause
Yep.
in terms of even betterment
Oh, yeah.
for our community. So we have a great group of individuals.
Yes, we
have a
do.
great month of programs that we want you to be a part of. As always, we embrace the community as one because what's CBC's slogan? One strong
strong
voice. So we are together with you, and
Yes.
again, we hope to see you throughout the month and our big event on the 27th. So
Yes,
please
please.
come
Yes.
and enjoy the program. We appreciate you. Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.